right, two more sections here of the Declaration. Hopefully you're getting a good idea of how they thought about the laws of nature, the state of nature, and why they deserved and why it was okay for them to overthrow the British government and start their own. So this is the last section. This is kind of included in the grievances, the thing the king did wrong. But this is not things that the king did wrong. These are actually things that the colonists did. So this is what they did and why it was so frustrating to them. So let's look at how they were looking at this. They claim that in every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. So they didn't start out by saying, oh, let's get rid of the king. They actually tried to work it out. And we talked about some of those things with the First Continental Congress and the Stamp Act Congress. They actually did try to tell the king that things aren't going right. You need to fix this. Let's see, but our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. So the king never listened to what we said. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. So they're saying right there, they're not saying it's bad to have a king necessarily. But a king who doesn't listen and who doesn't rule the people well and doesn't help them grow and doesn't help them protect life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A king who doesn't do that is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. So here they go. They've made their case and said, you are unfit to be our ruler. They also go on, nor have we been wanting in attention to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislator to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. So it says we've warned them. We've told them, don't do this. Don't pass these laws. And we have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice of magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations. Usurpations is when they take over. That's a good word to remember. This is when they tried to take over and make their own laws, and they didn't care what the colonists said. We're just going to make our own laws. So they said, we tried to tell them, don't pass these laws. We don't want this. You're doing the wrong thing, but they wouldn't listen, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondences. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity. There's that word again. This is necessary, and they've proven that it's necessary with the whole list of problems. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace friends. So we're going to break off, and if you want to fight us, we'll be enemies, but if you don't want to fight us, we can at least be friends. It's up to you, is kind of what they're saying. But we are going to be separate. So we are going to separate away because of all this. So again, this is the stuff that the colonists did to try to make it okay, to try to fix it. But it wouldn't be fixed, so they're going to separate it. Last paragraph, we'll get to it, is the legal paragraph where, and I think it's kind of exciting to watch this, this is where they create a new country.